Welcome back to another episode of STL Real Estate Roundtable. I'm your host, Jaden Barr, CEO and team leader of Keller Williams Realty Chesterfield. And today I'm joined by a very special guest. Caitlin Heimgartner.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for jumping on. So I start off pretty much every episode the same way, which is what got you started in a career in real estate?
I was recruited. So before I got my license, I was working as a personal trainer for a small gym in Brentwood. And I did that for about 5 years. And COVID really messed things up for us. It was shut down, and then we had to downsize and open a smaller gym. And the owners brought me along with them, and I was the only other trainer, so we were running this small gym together. And we had opposite, like the owners would work the mornings, and then I would work the afternoons. And I was always by myself, and I was like on this island. I'm like, I'm not really happy doing this. And I didn't feel comfortable going to a different gym because clients tend to follow you. And like they had already lost like a third of their clients. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
It'd be like you walking out the door and like throwing a match behind you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I want this gym to be successful too. You know, I learned so much there. So I decided so that didn't feel like an option. And I confided in one of my clients at the time. We would go for outdoor walks since it was COVID times. I'm like, I'm not happy. I think I'm going to look elsewhere. And she's a Coldwell Banker agent. And she was like, well, I'm slammed. So if you're interested in getting your license, I think you'd be great at it. And I could use the help. And I said, okay. But oddly enough, I had met another agent years before at Starbucks, and he wanted me to join his team. And I was like, ew, sales, disgusting. I'm a trainer. And then, this time around, I had nothing to lose. I'm like, why not? So it took me about 9 months to get my license because I worked full time at the gym. And then I did a self-paced, terribly boring course. It was awful. And I didn't retain the information very well. So I wasn't sure that I would be cut out for this. Turns out you don't need any of that information.
None of it.
That you learn.
Yeah. Do you still remember how many feet are in an acre?
No. And I see those memes. It's like day 623 of being a realtor. I haven't had to use that.
I think it's 43.
I Googled it on the way here.
250?
I think so.
We got to figure out.
Let's Google it.
Got to Google it.
I think you're right, though. I'm so impressed you know that.
Is that the question?
How many square feet are in an acre?
43,560.
Oh, 560. Yeah, almost.
Close. Take my license right now. Okay, so you get your license, and then it's smooth sailing every day since then, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah? So tell me about kind of first year in real estate and then journey to where you are today.
So since it took me so long to get my license, I told all my friends, I'm getting into real estate. And then when I finally had it, my friends were like, are you taking clients yet? So that was, I was a little embarrassed how long it took me, but it actually worked out for
You were just building a pipeline.
I was building a pipeline, while I was doing this boring course. And I told my friend too, I'm like, do you even need my help? I'm like, I feel so bad. And she was like, you're fine. But I never did end up helping her. I hit the ground running because it was 2021. So it's kind of, it was a busy market.
Yeah.
So that first year I started in April and I quit the gym job and I went back to work part-time for an orthodontist because he offered me flexible hours. So I was working that job. And then I think I made 5 sales. And then the next year, my goal was 12 sales. I'm like, I just want 1 a month. I want to focus on consistency. And then that happened. And then last year, I didn't set my goal high enough. And I ended up doing 10 sales, but my volume was higher. And then this year, I'm at 24. So each year's been building, in its own way. Yeah.
Crushing it. Okay. Awesome. So what are some key kind of lessons learned along the way so far of building your business in real estate?
Autonomy is hard. Working for yourself is nice, but it comes with its own challenges. So I think the main
You have the world's best boss, right?
The world's best boss. Some days, right? But when you don't have to answer to anyone other than your clients, you know, it's easy to let that I don't feel like it kind of attitude creep in. But I would say keeping your balance when it's busy and your focus when you're not. That's my biggest.
That should be on a billboard somewhere.
All right.
That's good.
Thank you.
It's good. Balance when you're busy, focus when you're not. That's good. Okay, so what do you feel like has led to that success and that, you know, from 10 deals to 24, like that's pretty uncommon, I would say. What do you think led to that?
Well, my mentor started a group at the office, the 25 and 25 club. So like I joined the club and I didn't have an option to set a small goal. So my goal was bigger and I'm almost there. I don't know that I'm going to get that 25th deal, but
Cash buyers. Come on.
yes, I'm looking for
a
quick sale.
Yeah.
So
you could be the 25th.
Yeah,
Go out and buy a $50,000 property, right?
Oh my.
Go out and get one.
You know what? That is one of my goals for in the future is to start investing.
There we go.
But so I think setting your goals lofty enough, rising to the challenge is key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Well, so we're seeing the success today. What does the next level of success look like for you? What's the goal?
Since I doubled my business last year, this year, I'd like to try and double it again next year. Mm-hmm. But I also think like my goal so when I was a personal trainer, it was really cool to make a big impact on people's lives, right? I was helping them be healthier and live better lives. So in real estate, I was nervous when I first got into it because I did view it as sales, but it's really service. So I do want my numbers, but I also want at least 90% of my transactions, if not 100%. I want to leave a positive impact with my clients. Mm-hmm. Even if the deal doesn't go the way we had hoped, or, you know, we've got obstacles, which is always how it is in real estate, right? Yeah. That they still got to the closing table and had a good experience with me.
Yeah. I love that. So from sales to service.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Right? That's the other tagline. Right.
That's an important one.
Yeah.
I think more people need to. I hate that salesperson is in our title. It should be real estate professionals. Yeah.
Well, I think too, like there's a lot of, I know we've talked about this. Like I think there's a lot of great salespeople out there. There's not a lot of great real estate business owners.
Yes.
Right. Uh-huh. We are all independent contractors. Mm-hmm. Very few agents that I come across actually treat their business like a business and, you know, think like a CEO and like a business owner, right? They're just a salesperson, which is sad.
It is sad.
Right?
No, it's not very
on a mission to change that.
Yeah.
Let's change that. Let's change that.
I like that.
So as far as, you know, experiencing that crazy growth in 1 year time, what have been some of the challenges that have come along with that?
I was very busy from about March to October. And I felt like I was losing my mind a little bit. I remember I took my husband out. So I was super busy. He's like my number one supporter. So I'm like, let's do like a supportive husband night. And I bought tickets to one of a comedian he likes. And we didn't even make it to the show. So it was downtown. There was a baseball game, a soccer game, and some other event going on, and we couldn't find parking.
Blues game, probably.
Blues game, yeah. Everything was happening, and we drove around for an hour, and we couldn't find a parking spot, and we were frustrated, so we just went home. And I was sobbing. I was in tears, and he was like, "It's okay." I'm like, "No, it's not. I mean, aside from the fact that I spent money on these tickets, we're not going to get this time back. And I don't have a lot of time right now because I'm busy."
Yeah.
So it was a very dramatic moment. I'm sure if you asked him, he'd be like, "She's kind of nuts." But I was feeling the stress of being busy, and I don't want to do that again. I want to figure out a good balance.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a challenge for any agent out there that is experiencing success, is finding that work-life balance that we talk about, right? And
if it exists.
Finding leverage in the right places with things that either we're not good at or things that we shouldn't be spending our time doing.
Yes.
I think that's a challenge with growth, right? Is delegating, finding the right person or the right system or the right tool to alleviate that stress that we all experience from time to time.
Yes.
Right. When you look at what you're looking to do next year, right? What are some of the things that you need to work on in order to get that next level of success?
I need to tighten up my systems and automate some stuff. I want a transaction coordinator, so I'm not spending so much time on paperwork and I can be out, face to face with the clients.
Yeah.
Those are my two big things right now. Yeah.
Got it. Talk to me about like navigating the challenges of the market and the industry and being relatively new in the industry. Like, by the way, like massive success in your first few years. Like, that's incredible. Like that's why you're sitting here, obviously, but there's not a lot of agents that can, tell that story. I think it's been a challenging past few years for a lot of agents out there. So to have that kind of success, you should definitely be proud of that.
Oh, thank
Celebrate
you.
it. But
I can't believe it too.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's just a lesson out there for anybody is, in real estate, we're only as good as our last sale, so to speak. Eventually your business, you build a pipeline over time. And if you serve people well, you're going to have repeat clients and clients for life and referrals and all those things. But I think it's a good lesson for any agent out there that's struggling is if you don't like where you're at today, you can drastically change that over the course of 90 days.
Yeah.
As little as 90 days.
90 days.
You can change the trajectory of your business.
What you do today is a reflection of what you did 90 days ago, right?
Exactly.
The business you do today.
Yes. Yes. And I think on the flip side of that, if you really like where you're at today, that can drastically change in 90 days too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a blessing and a curse, when you think about it. And so keeping the main thing and doing the work, I think is a big lesson.
You have to be able to roll with the punches too. And something big for me is this can be a heartbreaking business when you have a deal fall apart or a buyer that wants to take a break from looking or a seller's like, my house isn't selling. We want to go with somebody else. Like you're working for free until you get to the closing table, which is a hard pill to swallow. But I think being unmarried to the outcome of what you're doing is really important. Like just keeping your client's best interest in mind, keeping your why you're doing this in mind, and it'll all work out, even if it doesn't look the way you think it would. Yeah. But you have to put that energy towards your business and whatever happens, it will work out.
Yeah. As cliche as it is, trust the process.
Trust the process. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. All those sayings that you see on signs at Home Goods, right?
We need a board just with all these. Yeah.
These are great. These are great. I was actually I was working for like our church Sunday school like kids room, and there were all these sayings on the walls, right? Of like, I'm brave, I'm confident, and all these things. And I'm like, I needed this today. Like, these are great. Yes. Like, why don't I have these in my office? Like, all these things that kids are seeing every day, like, they're phenomenal. Like,
yeah.
So
I have flashcards with like motivational sayings on them.
Okay.
And I'll go through them, and whatever I'm feeling that week, I try and change it out like every week. But
there you go.
Put it up on my desk.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What do you think is, if there's an agent watching this that is aspiring to be at the level that you're at, right? What do you think would be good advice to give that agent?
Start while you're slower, if that's the case, which we typically are slower at the beginning. Start with your systems then. Like establish how you want your business to run from the get-go. I know I kind of figured it out on the way and I'm still learning it, but if you do it from the beginning, it's going to be way easier.
That's good advice.
Yes.
So start with a foundation of a system or a model.
Exactly.
And go from there. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. What do you think is common mistakes that people make when they're first getting started? And it might tie into what you just said.
Yeah, just kind of.
Or what do you think are like most common fears that agents come across?
I think it's not really a mistake, but when you're green, you take every scrap of business that comes your way. And I think it takes time to learn that you don't have to do that, especially if you're like struggling to pay your bills and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So I think my advice would be, you can be, this is your business. You're calling the shots. You can be particular about who you work with. And I know what's helped me a lot is figuring out who my main clients are, like a client avatar, or who are you best at helping and why should they choose you over anybody else or any other option. I learned that I listened to this podcast called The Secrets of a Top Producing Agent. It's a gal. She was out in Washington. I don't know where she lives now, but she had a rough start and ended up being very successful. And now she offers online coaching. She's got this podcast, and that changed things, answering that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the best deals are the ones you don't do.
Exactly. It's okay to walk away. And you learn that as you go. Not every client or deal is worth chasing.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Talk to me about how your previous work experience, like running a gym and being a personal trainer, and I'm sure there's a lot of skills that you developed over the years in those fields, that have translated nicely over to real estate. So talk to me about.
I look at it both as education. So in the gym, I'm teaching people how to work out properly and eat better. As a real estate professional, I'm teaching people how to buy and sell their house. And so it's breaking things down so that they're easily absorbed, because, real estate's its own language of legal jargon, nonsense.
Yeah.
So, just focusing on the education to me, it's the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just educating on a different topic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Talk to me about, obviously fitness and health is important to you, coming from that field. So as an agent, I think we do from 3,000 foot view, looking at real estate agents and how we treat our mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health, like all those things. We are terrible.
We're terrible. I know.
And I think part of it is because a lot of us, we want to serve others and we focus so much on pouring into our clients and our database and things like that. But it is like an epidemic, right? And so talk to me about that and like what you see from an agent perspective, and maybe how what your approach is to like your own, physical health and things like that.
I'm actually glad you brought that up. I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
Because I hear stories from agents who are like, I had the best year, but I gained 40 pounds. Or they put themselves last they're sacrificing some non-negotiables for their business. So when I got into this, with my training background, I'm like, well, my health is a non-negotiable. I've also heard stories about people who, again, had the best year, but I almost got divorced. Like, okay, well, let's...
priorities might be out of,
Let's establish some non-negotiables. So my health, my marriage, my friends and family, the whole reason to work for yourself is so you have flexibility and you can spend more time with the people you love and taking care of yourself. And so your life is better, right, than if you weren't working for yourself.
Yeah.
So I think I work out a lot.
Yeah.
I have a training buddy. She's my mentor. She likes to run. I like to lift weights. So she helps me improve my running and I help her lift weights so she stays fit for running.
There you go.
Even as a trainer, as a past trainer, I still don't feel like working out ever. So having a buddy is good. Yeah.
So accountability. Accountability buddy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Okay. So what would be some 3 simple tips for an agent looking to improve in that area?
Well, I mean, you have the time.
As a coach, as a former coach.
You have the time. You just have to do it.
Okay. So that's tip number 1. Stop making excuses with your schedule.
Making excuses. Get to the gym. Number 2 is stop eating out or on the fly. Like make your food, right?
Make your food.
Don't be eating McDonald's because you don't have time for anything else. Number 3 is I don't even know what the third one would be. Like those are pretty much it. You have to do it even if you don't feel like it, and you have to eat healthy and drink your water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drink 100 ounces of water a day.
Yeah. And then you probably won't be eating terribly if you're full from water.
Yes, exactly. But that ties into setting boundaries. Like I try not to answer my phone after 9 o'clock at night. A lot of times it's 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
The other night I wrote an offer at 10 o'clock, which is like not good because my brain was mush, right? It's late at night. So like if you don't have a lot of boundaries in your business, it's going to be harder to set those boundaries in your health.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're up at, till 12 a.m. working, you're not going to get up early and go to the gym.
Yeah. Well, I think too, like your physical health carries over into every other aspect of your life. And so if there is a thing to focus on, right? I think it is, hey, let's get up when we say we're going to get up, let's have some quiet time before the chaos starts, right? Whether that's journaling or gratitude or prayer, whatever it looks like for you, figure out what that is. And then let's move our body.
Let's move our body.
Let's get some water. And then
hydrate.
That's going to carry over into every other aspect of your life.
Yeah, you're going to feel better and you're going to do better.
Yeah.
And if you treat it like an appointment, I can't miss this appointment with myself at the gym. You're going to go.
Yeah.
That's why having a partner and somebody waiting for you is helpful.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't, if you had a $1 million listing appointment, would you miss that appointment?
Oh, hell no.
No, you wouldn't, right?
No.
So treat your gym schedule like that too.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
What else should we touch on here? Looking at the business that you built, right? I mean, you're doing things the right way. Like what would you say you're most proud of?
Oh my gosh, that's such a nice question. I've never even thought about that. That's so weird. Well, I did win Rookie of the Year my first full year in the business. But I had very mixed feelings about it because making a living wage, but on my lean months, I remember like crying because I couldn't pay my bills. And then at the awards, they're like, congratulations, you did the best out of everybody that's new. And I was like, what?
Right.
Is this going to get better? Because that was hard.
Yeah.
So I think Rookie of the Year is a big accomplishment for me, even though I have my mixed feelings about it. But it put my name on the map, right? So people knew who I was, and it was a good incentive to keep growing my business and doing what works.
Yeah, I think it's a great reminder for everybody. It's like everybody's battling or struggling with something that you have no idea about, right? And so like celebrate the Rookie of the Year, but also realize like, hey, life's expensive out there.
It is expensive.
We got bills to pay.
We have bills.
And like, I think any agent out there can say like, hey, yeah, I sold a lot of real estate, but I don't have much to show for it. Like, that's the key to running a profitable business, right? You got to track money in, money out. And I think a lot of us just don't have clarity on what that is, right? And so, having a budget tracker, having an idea of where our expenses should be in order to have the profit that we want at the end of the year, I think that's a big and
that's a good tie-in to charging what you're worth as far as commissions go.
Yes.
Like discounting your commissions.
Yeah, you're valuable.
You're valuable, and you have to be profitable or you can't be an agent. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the point of running a business, right?
Right, exactly.
To be profitable.
To be profitable, yeah.
Yeah, so don't shy away from that.
No, exactly.
You're valuable.
You're valuable.
Cool. What else do you want to talk about?
Let me think here, because I had a lot running through my head on the way here. I feel like we touched on most of it, though.
Good.
Yeah.
Means I'm doing my job.
Enlightening conversation. Yay.
So with what are the similarities between, I want to know what it is like running a gym during COVID.
Oh my God.
Well, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Sidebar away from real estate.
Oh man. Well, when COVID first came to town and we shut everything down, we did virtual. So we had to transition to Zoom.
Like Zoom classes?
So I worked at a
P90X style,
some of that. We did semi-personal training, so up to 4 people per hour with one trainer. And it's all like completely personalized functional fitness where we do an assessment on you and see how you move. And we're like really delving into your patterns and making sure we're not messing anything up, like keeping you safe so you can keep training, which is really cool. And our bodies are amazing. There's so much. So So I'd have up to 4 people at a time who are all doing their own programs, and I'm just making sure they have their weights and everything. So it was, and then I would run group classes too. So it's the same on Zoom. You would have up to 4 people in an hour, and then I would run the classes and just all be from home. And what's interesting is people go to a gym because your home is like your relaxation. You relax there, right? That's your relax space. I can unwind here. The gym is your work hard space. So when you're working out from home, it's tough to like get in that mindset. So it really does help having a trainer watching you. And you have to get creative with weights if you don't have a lot of equipment. So we did, when we first started that, because it was like 3 months that we were working out via Zoom.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, our gym had let people like check out some equipment. So some people brought stuff home with them, but it was very limited. Some people acquired stuff on their own. And then, by the end of the shutdown, they had their own home gym, which is cool.
Then you're selling it on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. They're one of the one of the trainers that broke away, like when the shutdown was over and I went onto the new space with the owners, we had another agent that broke away, and he still does virtual training.
Nice.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that really, it changed things for people, Yeah.
I think, I'm sure you saw it in the gym space and in real estate. I'm sure there's a lot of similarities, but I think industries as a whole changed drastically over time, right? I mean, you see with the introduction of AI and social media and, all the things, right? I think industries as a whole have to adapt or they die.
Yes.
Right. And so with that, I think, how have you seen with AI, with social media, with all the bells and whistles, with real estate, like how have you seen the industry change? And like, what's your mindset when it comes to change and adapting with the changes that are taking place in the industry?
It's kind of scary with AI. I think there's a lot out there. There's a lot of like entities trying to get rid of realtors, but I don't think that's possible. People still want that connection with the person. So I don't see AI taking over completely, but I do hear if you don't know how to use it, you will fall behind. It's a very important tool that you need to be taking advantage of. I've dipped my toe in it with Chat GPT. I should probably know more about how to use it, but I don't. I'm kind of old school. I don't love social media and all that jazz. Yeah.
So my prediction, this could be way off, right?
I can't wait to hear it.
But I think with AI, and I completely agree with you, it is a fantastic tool. We should know how to use it because the top teams, the top agents have people on their team solely dedicated to learning this tool to better enhance their customer service, their system, their processes, their business, right? So when you look at the people that are doing the most amount of business and attracting the most amount of leads and clients and things like that, they're doing it at a really high level. And so if you aren't, you might get left behind.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's, whether it's sad or exciting, you choose. But I think it's an opportunity for growth out there for people that choose to adopt it and adapt to the changing times. However, I think with that, AI, people work with people they know, like, and trust. And so there is a human element to what we do. There is a human connection to what we do. Absolutely. And there is feeling and an emotion tied to buying and selling real estate.
Absolutely.
Fact of it, right? If we want to argue that, we can. But that's just my take. And I think it time and time again has shown up to be true in every transaction that I've done throughout my career. And so I think eventually people aren't going to know what's real and what's not.
It's already happening. It's scary. Yeah.
And so they want human connection. I think eventually we as a society will go back to, we want human connection. We want the face-to-face interaction because I don't trust what I just saw online.
Right.
I don't know if that's real.
Right.
Let's meet in person. Let's talk. Like, let's have a coffee. Let's have a beer, like whatever it looks like. So I think eventually we'll go back
Full circle.
to a full circle moment, like ditch the technology, ditch the phones. I want to talk to you in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
And know you're real.
Yeah.
Right?
It's in the title, real estate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real estate. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's just my prediction is, we're trending to more AI, more digital, more virtual, everything. But I think eventually we are going to go back to let's be in
I
person.
need a person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that's why I think the real estate agent is irreplaceable.
I agree. Yes.
Yeah. There's value there.
Woo woo.
So
5.
get off my soapbox for a minute.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
I think, we've moved to like buying cars online, and I think there's with this AI and Zillow and stuff, it's like trying to make that more normal and buying a house online, but that's insane.
Yeah.
It's a way bigger investment than a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a little crazy.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Last question.
Okay.
Before we wrap up the episode here, what's the most impactful book or podcast that you've read or listened to?
This year, I've been getting into Mel Robbins, and I read the Let Them Theory first. And then I read like all of her other books after that.
Okay.
And then I've been listening to her podcast. And what I love about her is she has a take on self-development, like, hey, we're doing this together and I'm learning too, which is so like non-threatening and genuine. And I feel like that about real estate. Like, yes, I know what I'm doing, but I learn something new on every deal.
Yeah.
And I'm not just a real estate professional. I'm your friend also.
100%.
So I feel like, she's really cool. And her big thing is motivation is garbage. And she's a motivational speaker. So, and we're talking about how we're not salespeople, but we're salespeople. So, she's got some good content.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't read the Let Them Theory, but I have read the 5-second rule.
The 5-second rule is good.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what
Explain that to the viewers here. What we got?
The 5-second rule. So my friend Mel was saying how she was struggling. So she's lived through some stuff. And when she was at a low point in her life, she developed the 5-second rule to kind of change things. And she said she saw a commercial on TV where a rocket was launching. And like at this point in her life, she and her husband were in a ton of debt. She was jobless. She was pressing snooze 6 times each morning. And she saw this commercial and, they count backwards from 5. And she's like, this is how I'm going to change my life. I'm going to count backwards from 5 and then I'm going to move. And there's science behind that. That's another thing I enjoy about her is she goes into the science behind everything. And when you count backwards and then move, it's like you snap out of that I don't want to phase and you get going. Same thing with making time for the gym. Like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. And then you get it over with.
Yeah. And then you go.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Do the thing.
Yeah, you do the thing.
Cool. Awesome. Well, that's really insightful. I know everybody that's watching is going to get a ton of value from watching this podcast. So I appreciate you sharing that. And a little hurt that you didn't say the STL Real Estate Roundtable is not your favorite podcast, but
this is, I just started watching them, so I've got a lot more episodes to get through, but it's quickly becoming my number 1.
You are my number 2 fan besides my mom. So I appreciate that. That's great.
Shout out to Mom.
Shout out. Dana Barr, you're out there watching. I know you are. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. And look forward to seeing your continued success.
Thank you.
And the St. Louis real estate market for years to come.
Thank you.
All right. We will catch you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in.